I have dealt with depression for years. What a way to start a video, am I right? Welcome! But I have. It actually started when I was in high school, my senior year of high school, and then followed me, as it does, into college and into the first many years of my marriage. Oh, college was awesome. Oh, yeah, I had a great time in college, except for the crippling panic attacks and, passing out in the cafeteria, from anxiety attacks when I couldn't catch my breath, from just horrific depression. Yeah, so that was awesome. So shout out to anyone I ever went to college with that had to call 911 for me. Makes a brand new college freshman feel like a really big person on campus. But it's true. I've dealt with depression for most of my adult life. Now, I don't have it nearly as bad, and I want to tell you why. Because I can spot it coming a mile away. I mean, I'm not immune to it, don't get me wrong. It's not like, I just don't deal with that anymore. No. I can just spot it coming. I just know when it's coming. I check myself before I wreck myself, as they say. I think about my surroundings. Okay, I can feel it coming on. So A, B, C, D, I go down my checklist. What is bringing me joy? What is sucking the life out of me? And I just stop what I'm doing because I've learned. You see, I've learned. Here's another way that maybe right now you are identifying with me. Maybe you and I are alike. I've also dealt with pain, a whole lot of pain. Terrible seasons of heartbreak and pain. I've dealt with more pain than some of you. And I've dealt with a lot less pain than some of you. But here's the interesting thing about pain. Number one, it comes to everybody's house, doesn't it? It's no respecter of persons. It comes to everybody's house. And this pain that I wanted to avoid, the thing that had me curled up in a fetal position, crying desperately for so many seasons of my life, the thing that had me wither to the ground when I was in college through sheer panic attacks and nervousness and anxiety and social anxiety. Yeah, those things right there I wanted so badly to avoid, and never did I realize that the thing I wanted to avoid the most might end up being the best teacher of all. I love root canals. Also, I'm a big liar. I hate root canals. I've had to have several. I'm sure you've had to have a root canal as well. Nobody wakes up in the morning and looks at their calendar and like, yeah, root canal day. It's No, we don't. And yet, here's the interesting thing. Every single time I've had a root canal, I have had to, I even have to get like the stuff that goes over my mouth so it calms me down, okay? And yeah, I have to eat soup for the rest of the day, and I drool out of the side of my mouth for about 4 to 6 hours. But I always end up in my bed that night. In other words, it didn't kill me. I have never been dead from a root canal. Never. In fact, 99.9% of the time, it's always worked. A root canal has always fixed the problem. Doesn't mean that I enjoy the process, but sure do like feeling better afterwards. And that's a lot like pain. Sure don't enjoy the process, but I sure do learn a lot when it's over. Some of the things that I have learned from the seasons of difficulty in my life are, I could go on and on. Forgiveness is one. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of those things that if you don't learn it, if I can be so bold, you will die. You will die. You may not die physically, but you will die emotionally. The quote is that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. And it is truth. It might be the most true quote I've ever read anywhere. Unforgiveness can end up being paralyzing for you. It will be dream killing, relationship burning. I've been hurt so deeply before, and I could not extend forgiveness. And I sat at home in my seat of bitterness and in my seat of hatred. And you know what my former friend was doing? Living her life, man. Living her life. And I had to learn. From the pain, I had to learn. I had to learn not only how to extend forgiveness, I had to learn how to forgive myself. Oh, forgiveness has got so many sides to it, doesn't it? Some of us need to forgive others, and some of us just need to forgive ourselves. And these are the things, these are the little things that we learn when we are in seasons of pain and seasons of hurt, or as I call them, seasons of suck. These are the things that we need to learn. I learned a lot about forgiveness. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how to treat myself and how to treat others and how to extend a hand when I had done wrong and how to rebuild bridges. I learned a lot about that stuff during seasons of suck. And I've talked to so many of you. And here's what we all want to know. We want to know, in the end, are we going to be okay, or is this going to kill us? That's what you want to know. Am I going to be okay? See, I've bumped into you in airports, and I've seen your comments on some of my videos. I've received your emails, and I ran into you in restaurants, and I see you at events that I speak at, and you just want to know, in the end, are you going to be okay? If you jump off, if you dive into the pain, if you say, okay, I'm going to learn from the pain, and you sink to the bottom, will you be able to push up and come back up for air, or will you just sink like a rock? Will you stay there? That's really all we want to know. So thank you guys for even watching this video with me today. Thank you for sitting here and watching this. I've got a lot I want to talk to you about today, but first of all, just thanks. Thank you for going, oh God, it's her again, and actually watching the video. Some of you know me from the video that's going to end up being on my dadgum tombstone when I die, Red Ribbon Week. I promise you, like, I have done better things in my life. When I die, it's going to say, here lies Melissa Radke. She made that Red Ribbon video. Let me tell you something. That Red Ribbon video has brought more exciting opportunities to me and really raised the game for what it is I feel called to do. My social media platform, my mother's like, social media is the demise of the world, and yet here I am on it. But my social media platform has grown to hundreds of thousands of followers. It's just gotten to be more than I ever thought. And with it has come such exciting opportunities. I'm an author now, and we're working on different television projects and stuff like that. It's just really, really been great. I mean, everything from CNN to daytime talk shows, all about this platform that really, I believe God has kind of given me and entrusted to me. And it's come with some really crazy opportunities. But that said, the thing that I like the most, it's not the over 100 million views on all of my silly videos. That's total. That's not like one video has 100 million views, but hundreds of millions of views to watch me contour my makeup. I mean, come on, give me a break. But as fun as it is, it's you. It was always all about you. It was connecting with you, and it was meeting you. If you've known me for very long or you followed me at all, then you may have seen me wear a t-shirt. I pull it out from time to time when I got to put it on, depending on what's going on in my life. And it says, this sucks, but God is good. There's a little story behind that t-shirt, and I want to tell you about it. So several years ago, I was writing a local column for a regional magazine in my area. And it came time to do a Thanksgiving article. It was time for me to turn it in. And when I turned it in to the editor, she read it, and she was like, Normally, Melissa, I would expect a Thanksgiving article to be all the things you're thankful for. I said, it is. It's full of all the things I'm thankful for. The interesting thing was that it was all really terrible stuff. I mean, I was brutally honest in this article. I should read it to you someday. I mean, I actually put out there for the masses to see that I was exceptionally thankful for the night that my husband and I sat down and decided who would take what in the divorce. That he would take this and I would take this, and you can have that and I'll get this. And when we agreed on a divorce attorney and was exceptionally thankful for that night. Why am I thankful for it? Well, number one, we're still married. And I'm thankful that my marriage hit rock bottom, because the only place else it could go was up. I'm thankful for the betrayal of friends, because it taught me how to forgive, and it taught me how to be a better friend. As hard as it is to say, I'm thankful for infertility. 12 years, as a matter of fact. I'm thankful for 12 years of infertility, because it brought me my children. That's right, both of my children are adopted, so I'm thankful for adoption as well. I'm thankful that we had a son who passed away, and that he doesn't live to be sick or to not have a successful life. And I'm thankful that out of that pain, I learned so much. And I wrote all of that in that article. And I said this: wouldn't it be nice if on occasion we had a shirt that told how we were feeling? Like maybe it said, "This sucks, but God is good." And then when you wore it around town and you saw other people wearing it, you'd be like, word to my sister, I feel you, and then you would just know, okay, they're in a season right now. And then you would give them a hug or like a shout out or whatever, you'd like buy them some onion rings and set it to their table. I mean, it would be our way to communicate that what we're going through right now is horrible. And so I said this in the article, and of course my mother called me and said, why do you have to use the word sucks in the same sentence that you use the word God in? Melissa, I didn't raise you like that. Okay, what would you prefer? This blows chunks, but God is good. This is a crap fest, but God is good. I mean, it's the truth. Sometimes it really just is crappy. Right? Your story's no different than mine. I mean, my hair's a little bigger. And I'm sorry, we can't all have, the natural boobage like I got going on, but our stories are no different. Different circumstances. Quite possibly different characters in the story, but the story's the same. We're all just a root canal waiting to happen. Life is hard. It sucks. And I'm going to say this, by the way, in the same sentence that I'm using God, but it sucks, but I found God to be really, really good. I found him to be wonderful, as a matter of fact. So yeah, Mom, I'm putting it in the same sentence. It sucks sometimes, but God is so good. And why do I tell you all of that? I tell you all of that because now we go like this. We go, okay, we have established that it is hard. We have established that it's difficult. We have established that it sucks sometimes. What now? What can we learn, Melissa? What's next? Oh, and that's where it gets good. What's next? That's where it gets good. Okay. So some of you have got reservations and you've got questions because I mentioned G-O-D. In a sentence. I know. Now, some of you are offended that I said suck. So let me give you my mother's phone number as soon as this video is over. But others of you have a little bit of trepidation when I talk about God. Let me get a couple of things out of the way. Number one, I love God. I have found that to be a very successful relationship for me. A beautiful relationship indeed. Not everyone has been so lucky. I want to just tell you right now, I don't know that that's his fault. Probably not is it yours. Maybe there's some yuckiness in the middle there. But don't turn this video off. Don't negate everything I want to say to you because you've had a rough patch there. Okay? Now, that said, I am not Beth Moore. I'm not the world's greatest Bible study teacher by any stretch of the imagination. By any stretch of the imagination. I am no spiritual guru. I couldn't be one if I wanted to be. I can't, I get a lot of my theology from, let's say, Boys to Men and reality TV. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I know a lot about my relationship with God and how it has changed my life. And so some of you are like, okay, well, she's talking about God. So tell me what Ephesians says. I don't know. I mean, I read it. I don't remember a lot of it. But I read it, and I know it, and I live it, and I've seen it work for me. But I can't offer you Neosporin, and then you get mad at me because I'm not Dr. Oz. Okay? I'm not Dr. Oz. I can't do what Dr. Oz does. Nor am I Dr. Phil. But I love Dr. Phil. Oh my God, I love him. Okay. But some of you hate God. You do, you hate God. But let me ask you this. First of all, he doesn't hate you. But let me ask you this. Has that really helped with the pain? It still happens, doesn't it? It still comes for everybody. Pain is inevitable. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this. Let me tell you. Last summer, one of my best friends went on my bucket list vacation, an African safari. The top of my bucket list is an African safari. And he went and he saw the big seven. Okay, so that's a thing in Africa, right? That's like the zebras and the lions and the bears. I don't know what else is in Africa. Okay, I'll tell you when I get back. But he went and he said, we went out with this safari tour, and they took us through the plains, and we saw the big seven. That's what they kept saying. Our company can make sure that you see the big seven, the rhinos and the hippos and all this. And I said, but did you? And he goes, yeah, because you hear a lot of people that go on those tours, and they're like, can you believe the only thing out there was like one zebra or whatever? He saw them all. And I was like, was it scary? And he goes, it kind of was. I mean, it was exciting, but it was kind of scary. And I said, I'm going to go. I'm going to go, and I cannot wait. He said, well, when you go, you've got to use this same safari group as we did. They ensure that you see the real things. They take you into the heart of the plains. You've got to use them. Now, tell me this. What would have happened if I had said, oh, absolutely, let me get their name so that I can look them up? And he had said, I'd prefer not to give you their name. I would say, but they took you on a great tour. Oh, the best. And you felt completely safe. Oh, totally safe. Well, I would like their name. That's the thing. I don't really want to give you their name per se. Reminds me of like the Seinfeld. Remember the Seinfeld episode? Can't do it. Can't spare a square. Can't spare a square. Please tell me you get that. But how absurd would that be? To walk through the wilderness of the scariest things imaginable, devouring things that could kill you in an instant, and not give the name of your protector. See, that's why I just want to talk a little bit about God. I can't tell you how I've walked through some of the most dangerous, depressing, sad, heartbreaking times of my life unscathed, and not tell you the name of the man that took me through it. That doesn't make any logical sense. I wouldn't do that to you. I care for you too much. I love you too much. You can't look at me and say, okay, so Melissa, you came out and you're better for it. You're better, not bitter. How did that happen? And me go, I really can't say. I can say that it was God, that I could not have done it by myself. And I ask all the time, I ask the question in my head, oh gosh, how do people get through heartache without God? And that's what I want to talk to you about. Look, we're not going to look up Greek translations and the Hebrew and what it meant in the Old Testament and how the ark was built. I couldn't in my wildest dreams do that for you. I mean, we will probably eventually in these videos together dissect what boys to men actually meant by the end of the road. But I can't tell you the Greek translations of any words, okay? That's just not my thing. If you need something from me, I have got a big, huge can of big, sexy hairspray in my purse, but I probably don't have a New Testament. That's just who I am. But I'm smart enough to tell you the name of the person who took me through the plains when things were roaring all around me and danger was at every side, and I wasn't touched. That I can tell you. So listen, I'm not going to take up all of your day. I'm probably going to end this right here, but I do want you to know that there's going to be more videos to come. We're going to go deeper into this study, and I don't want you to be afraid of what we're going to talk about, and I don't want you to be afraid of what I'm going to bring up. Don't be scared of that, okay? But we're going to go a little bit deeper next time. The reason that I'm doing this, the reason I'm sitting here telling you this is because this could not have all been for nothing. Please tell me that it wasn't for nothing. Please tell me I didn't bury a child for nothing. Please tell me I didn't almost see the end of my marriage, my 20-year marriage, for nothing. Please tell me that. Please tell me that all the pain and all the hurt and all the depression and all the anxiety and all the unforgiveness and all the hatred and all the bitterness and all the weeping and all the wailing and all the fetal positions I laid in at night they were just all for nothing? Are you kidding me? No, they were all for something. They were for you, and that's what I want to talk about. I want to teach you about that. I want us to delve into that. I want you to know that you are going to be okay. That where you are now is not where you have to live. It's not where you have to stay. You don't have to be a walking wounded. You can jump off the high dive and you can go all the way down to the very bottom. You can think there's no possible way I could keep going down any further. But I want you to know that when you reach the bottom, you can come back up. You can come back up. There is life and there is hope at the very top. And armed with my can of Big Sexy Hairspray, my Spotify playlist of all Boys to Men, and a whole lot of chocolate. We're going to do this together. We're going to do it together. But as for today, well, we've come to the end of the road. Did you get that? Did you get that reference? That was a good reference. Nobody? Okay.